If we go back to the 1970s, about 70% of American workers had only a high school degree, or they were high school dropouts. And most of those were in the middle class. They had good blue-collar jobs. What happened was that in 1983, all that began to change. And the new service economy, technology change, and other forces increased the demand for skill on the job across the board. So since that time, the value of a college degree over a high school degree has gone from 39% more than a high school degree to 84% more than a high school degree. It's flattened out since 2008 because of the Great Recession. We await the end of that recession and full recovery to see if it starts rising again. A four-year college degree is still the gold standard in American education, but it's unfortunate when people get overly committed to the four-year degree because it's more complicated than that. There are essentially four rules of the game in linking up learning and earning in the American economy. Rule number one is the more education you get, the more money you're going to make. We all know that if you get a high school degree, you'll make less than if you get a college degree. If you get a high school degree, you'll make about $1,300,000 over a 45-year career. If you get an associate's degree, a two-year degree from a community college, you'll make substantially more, about $1,700,000 over a 45-year career. If you get a bachelor's degree, your earnings over a career jump to $2.4 million, and if you get a graduate degree, it's somewhere between $3 and $4 million over a career. And professional degrees like lawyer, doctor, accountant, those kinds of degrees pay upwards of $5 and $6 million. The more surprising rule is rule number two, and that is that averages overstate the reality in the American learning and earning game, and that what you take determines what you make in the final analysis. You can go to a community college for 1 year and get a heating, ventilation, and air conditioning certificate, not even a degree, and you can earn more than 20–25% of college graduates. 30% of people with associate's degrees that tend to be in technical fields, those people earn more than the average bachelor's degree. And 44% of people with bachelor's degrees, especially if they're in science, technology, engineering, math, or business, earn more than the person with the average earnings from a graduate degree. The third rule is that sometimes more education is not worth as much as less education. So you can get those certificates and degrees at lower levels and they'll make you more money than the certificates and degrees at higher levels. And the fourth rule is a rule that says that in the end, knowing is not enough. Domain knowledge or knowledge in a specific field of study will get you jobs, but the truth is your performance on the job will be pretty well determined by your ability to take knowledge and use it to solve problems, to serve customers, and to actually do things at work. The current higher education system, in which we invest every year about $450 billion, is like a $450 billion computer with no operating system. We know we put the money down at the front end, but we have no idea what comes out at the other end. We have no idea whether or not people actually learn things. We have no idea whether or not the things they learn will get them jobs and careers. And so what state leaders need to do first is to make the higher education system and its outcomes transparent to all of us, the parents, the students, the legislators, so that we know what we're getting for our money and that we can be sure that our students and our society are getting what they need. State leaders, political leaders, national leaders, educational leaders, we've all learned the same thing together over the past few decades. And the first is that we're all committed to the same mission for higher education. The higher education mission endures. And that mission is to allow people in a democracy, to allow people to live fully in their time. But we've also learned, because of changes in the economy that make higher education necessary for a decent job, that you can't live fully in your time anymore if higher education doesn't help you get a job. If you're living under a bridge, or if you can't find work, it's very difficult to be fulfilled. You're not going to be a lifelong learner if you're not a lifelong earner. And so, in a society based on work, higher education will fail if it only teaches people expansive skills required to participate in the culture and in the democracy, because we know that people who can't find work drop out of the culture, stop participating in politics, don't form successful families. And so if higher education is unable to provide people with the skills necessary to do work, they will also fail in their other missions, in their duties to the culture and the political system.